I feel like I'm about to do like a State of the Union or something. Hello wonderful humans, welcome back to the Bliss Bean. I hope you're doing well. I've been feeling a bit down because of social distancing, so I thought this week it would be good for me to get in touch with my inner self a little bit. I think it's really easy to like forget all of the progress that we're making when we're busy chasing success, and I'm definitely the kind of person that likes to just keep going without stopping to look back at the past. But one sentimental thing that I do hold on to, something that is so precious to me and I can never imagine throwing away despite how many times I might declutter my room, is my box of journals. I nearly die every time I try to bring it down from the top shelf of my closet. Ooh. There's stuff in here that I wrote when I was 5, and then from about 2017 and onwards, I was consistently journaling every single day. There's a lot of information here. I don't know how many boxes I will eventually need to store all of these, but these are just the kind of memories that you can't throw away. If you want to learn more about journaling, I have this video that is a guide to journaling along with 75 prompts to help you spark some ideas. So yeah, now that I've amassed all of these journals, I thought it would be fun to take them all out and reread them. It might not be fun, it might be cringy or sad, but we won't know until we try. So let's get into it. I actually had an idea for this process to give it some more structure. I haven't seen anyone do this, but I thought it would be fun to do like a old journal challenge or tag. And so I came up with a bunch of categories, and as I'm doing this process, I'm gonna try to find a quote to fit each of these categories. Feel free to use these same categories if you want to reread your old journals. All right, so this is going all the way back. I think this is a notebook that my mom brought home for me from America. So I started writing in here when I was 4 years old, and all of it is in Lithuanian because I don't think I knew any English at that point. Aš 2 metų buvau labai graži, aš vardą sakiau Betsytė, o pavardę Naulelytė. Aš kai buvau didelė su baba rinkau grybus. Mama grįžo, tai parvežė man daug dovanų, aš galėsiu žaisti ir mes visur važiuosim kartu. Aw. Okay, this is kind of boring, honestly. 5-year-old me did not have any interesting stories to tell. About me, favorite books: The Pharaoh's Secret, When You Reach Me, The Giver, The Hunger Games. Those are pretty good choices. I'm not judging myself for that. Movies though, Despicable Me, Fred, Romeo and Juliet, and The Hunger Games, okay? So here I was on a field trip and someone had an iPod Touch on the bus and they were letting everyone play with it for 10 minutes. So I timed her with my watch. She tried to play Temple Run, but it wouldn't load. So she was like, you have to give me an extra minute, but I wouldn't because that's totally unfair. Don't you think, future me? March 25th, 2013. So yeah, I did start playing Neopets again. Kayla continues to bring home the bacon as a superstar athlete. Stanley, my lazy guy, still doesn't have a job, which I regret sometimes, but I wonder if it's not too late. He was a stay-at-home dad before, but if he gets a job now, I'll only have to pay for a babysitter for a couple of days until Tyler becomes a child. That's about The Sims, by the way. I wanted to do NaNoWriMo, and my book idea is like every single dystopian novel that's ever been written. So there is a girl who lives in a dystopian city. There's a big, electronic, dome-shaped barrier around it. Her mom is an important government leader. I'm not even gonna read the rest, this is so stupid. Usually in the mornings I'm excited to go to school, but today is different. We're getting our Spanish listening test back and I'm so worried that I had a nightmare that I got a 2.5. When he smiled, he looked so genuinely happy and his eyes crinkled and I just melted. It made me so happy. What grade was this? 8th grade? Pull it together, Beatrice. That'll be the cringy one. This is when I had one of those little artsy phases. Sunday, September 7th. Well, hello. I am now a high schooler. I'm listening to Control by Halsey. Oh, that was like before Halsey got very popular. I was listening to Halsey before Halsey got big, so I feel like I'm teetering on the edge, trying desperately to keep from slipping back into what happened in 6th grade. I'm crying so much, so often. I just need someone to hold me really, really tightly and steady me. I don't even remember struggling at the start of freshman year. This was leading up to my first round of AP exams. I think I was talking about the AP World one. I hate it so much. It's so stupid that I have to take this. I have no passion for it whatsoever and the essays are ridiculous. Will a 4 versus a 5 really make a huge difference? I don't think so. But if I get a 4, I will feel so guilty about how much more I could have studied but didn't. I hate this, I hate this, I hate this. That last one was in all caps. We'll be paired up randomly and we'll be given questions to talk about while walking. I'm secretly hoping I get paired up with Oh, yikes. I worked on planning the Chicago trip a bit, posted on Instagram, which is finally gaining followers. Yay. This was the birth of the Bliss Bean. Lots of blogging, took photos, edited them, worked on social media. Honestly, blogging is so time consuming, but I'm proud of myself. I'm making it work. Yes. Don't give up, Patricia. But then we were going home and this feeling hit. The thought of everything I should do, the thought of all of the blog stuff I didn't do, the chores, the everything. I feel sad. Maybe it's a delayed reaction to the ACT. Maybe all of the time I spend trying to be super productive is building up gradual, invisible consequences. I feel scared. Oh, that was the day I took the ACT. Yeah, I was probably really drained after doing that. I found out today my ACT scores. I got a 36, all caps. I couldn't, swear word, believe it. I was so happy I wanted to cry. That will be my happy memory. I do remember that. I remember that exact moment, like where I was sitting, what class I was in. I remember opening up the email and just being like, what? The whole college culture just annoys me. Everything the people around me do seems done with the intention of showing off for a college. I can forge my own path and live the life I want to live. What a rebel. Wow, it's almost New Year's and I'm so old, 17. Gosh, I don't know why, but here I taped in. These are my brain scans from a psychology study that I participated in. What a wonderful memory to have. This is when I was thinking about being a flight attendant. A very serious thought I had today. What if I worked as a flight attendant? Flight attendants travel a lot, get cool layovers, flexible work hours. You can fly for free or very discounted rates. Flight attendants, please don't come at me. I know it's a lot harder of a job than I described it to be, but I was just young and naive. I was watching a YouTube video about goals. So my ultimate life goals: have my own business and be able to support myself financially with a passive income, be creative, do photography, film, design, help other people live their dream lives, being productive, loving themselves and following their dreams, find someone whom I love deeply and who shares my life vision, travel around the world and make it an integral part of my life, and don't do what everyone else does. That's pretty good. I'm a big fan of Best Dressed. You probably know Ashley from Best Dressed, and one of my claims to fame is that I watched her videos before she blew up, but I could never find any proof of that. I remember one time I sent one of her videos to my friends, but I could never find that text. I probably deleted it at some point. But here I said, this is March 25th, 2018. This girl whose channel is called Best Dressed, OMG, what's her name? I don't even remember. Anyways, she is so inspiring. She's so fashionable, hardworking, has such an artistic eye. She's going to film school. She got accepted to Stanford. I want to go back and see how many subscribers she had at that point, because as you know, if you watch her videos, she now lives in her own apartment in New York and she's doing so well. She's since graduated. That's so crazy. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. In video class, I sat down to edit my yoga club video and I was just so surprised by how happy it made me to be editing. I didn't realize I missed it. I wasn't even doing anything fancy, but the footage was so satisfying to edit and splice. Time flew. I was telling my dad about this later and told him I was thinking I needed to start a YouTube channel, and he agreed. At the very least, I need to try it. Who knows? Maybe I'll be like, holy crap, I love this so much more than blogging. Haha, ... Oh, this is so... I need to take a picture of this. I set up my channel, uploaded my video, posted about it in a few places. So that was a big turning point, because on the same day I uploaded my first video and someone discovered my blog, which was my worst fear coming true. But I just had to be no. I put a lot of effort into putting together this video, so I don't care if people see my blog and find my YouTube channel. This is when I was really figuring out how to put in as little work as possible into school. I am such a slacker student in a very calculated way. I left my bio objectives all for Monday. I managed to get enough done in school that they only took me 35 minutes at home to finish, and I also didn't do my English reading over the weekend, but I did it all at breakfast and during classes. Love to see it. I love this whole YouTube thing so much. I feel so creatively satisfied. I'm going to bed late, but my heart is full. I think it's really good to look back at how I started, not just YouTube, but anything really, and remember that I started everything at square zero and results were slow and kind of discouraging, but I kept going with everything. I think it's good to look back at that because it reminds you that any project you take on now or in the future is going to be the same. You're going to be back at square zero. It's going to be difficult, but you overcame that in the past, so who's to say that you can't overcome that again and find the same results that you were able to find in the past. I'm gonna be honest right now, stress levels are up right now. Sigh. I literally write out the word sigh in my journal. But you know what? Stress means I'm doing shit. I'm pushing myself, I'm growing, I'm not remaining stagnant. These are growing pains. That's pretty quotable. My Pinterest followers grew a lot and my Instagram following is rising steadily too. I just need to do something about that pesky YouTube. BTS motivates me. Seeing them struggle, work hard, and succeed really inspires me. That's still very true. I feel like this week I spent a lot of time on my blog, and part of me is just worried that I'm not doing it right. Like, why is progress so slow? Am I wasting way too much time on this? It's definitely better to have tried it. I'm really proud of my tenacity and how long I've stuck with it, especially over the summer. I know that if I hadn't blogged, I really would have regretted not trying it. This was the day that I posted about my blog on Facebook, because I put together like this 30-day productive email challenge, and I just decided that it was time to stop hiding it from people. So I promoted it on my personal Facebook. That evening I wrote, I've been seeing some notifications, so I know people have been liking and commenting, and I know my friends shared it, but I'm so scared. I'm literally so scared. I told my friend that I was scared, but that I checked what people were saying in the evening, and just now I chickened out. It's so scary, like even scarier than it was to write and post it, and my heart was beating fast when I did that. I'm proud of my content for sure, but like on my blog I show a different side of me. It's very vulnerable, and it's scary to think that people I know personally see that. A few days later, I read and responded to the replies on Facebook. I love my friends. Like, how am I so lucky to have them? Aww. That's gonna be the someone who means a lot to me. Not one someone, but a lot of someones. I've really grown up a lot during high school. I've grown so much, it's absolutely insane. I'm more involved than ever, more productive than ever, more skilled than ever, more involved in creative pursuits like blogging than ever, more sociable than ever, and honestly, happier than ever. I'm proud to be able to say all of this. It's taken a lot of hard work and personal growth, but I've come so far. Oh, I think that's a good note to end it on. I have a bunch more journals, but these are kind of recent, so I don't think it'll be that interesting to read them. So as I said, my journals are definitely more function over form. There's barely any creativity in them, and the format that I follow really has not changed in years. So I thought I could use some of my extra free time during quarantine, and I partnered with Skillshare to push myself to be a little bit more creative and introspective in my journaling practice. So the first class that I took to achieve this goal was called Writing for Inner Calm. It's mainly directed towards writers, but as she says in the class, if you write, you're a writer. So if you journal, then you write, which thus means you're a writer. I think that's the transitive property, if I remember anything from geometry class. I really liked the class. We talked about noticing everyday moments around you, how to push past the inner critic, and honestly, as I was taking my little notes, I realized that so much of the advice applied to more than writing. So for example, she talked about how when you get an idea to write something, initially you might be thinking like, oh, that's a stupid idea, or everyone's done that already. No one will be interested in that. Why would I even attempt it? And that's your inner critic, and you just have to say like, okay, and I'm still gonna do the work. I'm still gonna write it anyways. She talks about how you just have to say, I am a writer. So whatever passion you're working on right now, I think that class is just a good reminder that you have to like own it. And if your inner critic tries to persuade you not to follow it, then you have to just do it anyways. For one of the exercises, we had to write stream of consciousness I remember statements, which really reminded me to just keep my pen going when I'm journaling, because something that happens often when I'm journaling is I'll just stop and start filtering and thinking too much and just like staring off into space. But if I push myself to keep writing, then something eventually does come out, and oftentimes those end up being the most interesting and insightful little nuggets. The other class that I took was Mari Andrews' Drawing as Self-Discovery class. She is a freaking legend. She has more than 1 million followers on Instagram, and I have been admiring her work for so long. So in the class, she has a bunch of different projects where first you start out with some introspection, write out your thoughts, and then you put together some sort of drawing based on that. I loved it because when I was little, I used to do a lot of drawing, and now I don't think I've done any drawing for years, partly because I feel like I'm always busy, and partly just because you get this idea as you grow older that you have to be good at drawing for drawing to be worthwhile. So hopefully after this class, maybe I'll get back into doing some drawing. But yeah, my point is that there's definitely more to Skillshare than just like photography or business classes. Like for me, Skillshare is basically everything in life that I'm interested in, like photography, marketing, business, self-improvement. But even if you don't consider yourself a creative or artsy person, I think you can still find a lot of value in just trying out something new, trying out a new way to express yourself. Like I mentioned with the writing class, there's a lot of crossover in different areas of life. So like even though I'm not a professional writer or anything like that, I found ways to apply the writing advice to my life, to my journaling. And so for example, maybe you're not an artist, but doing an art class might add some value to your life. The moral of the story is don't box yourself in. Don't box yourself in, get it? So there's so much you can learn on Skillshare. Skillshare Premium gives you access access to more than 26,000 different classes on all sorts of different topics. It's less than $10 a month for an annual membership, which is a small investment if you really take full advantage of it. But the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a 2-month free trial of premium membership so that you can explore your creativity. I've also included the links to the 2 classes that I talked about if you're interested in taking those. If you try any other classes that you end up liking, let me know. I would love some recommendations. I hope you enjoyed this video and invading my privacy and reading my journal. Just kidding. I made this cute little journaling tag that you can find on my Instagram stories. If you fill it out, be sure to tag me at the Bliss Bean. Also, be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay healthy and I will see you next week. Bye!